Hey guys, Palmer here from the Penny Stock Quest, and it is Sunday, July 23rd, 2017. I think I've got that date right. These are just a few stocks that I'm going to be keeping an eye on next week. Note that it's earnings season coming up, and some of the big players are going to be reporting soon, so they can affect the overall theme of the market, strength or weakness. It's going to be curious to see what Apple has done for their report. I think everybody's waiting on the iPhone 8, and so they haven't released anything before the earnings date, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But it's just, if you want it, you can day trade Apple and Facebook and Amazon with options, but that's a different story. Might do that later as far as a video goes, but yeah. So just a couple things. Gonna get right to it. HIMX. It's a little overbought, but it's getting some good movement in the past couple of days. It is broken out of this fib sort of resistance area, and the volume has kind of increased for the last several days. It's got earnings coming up on the 3rd, but it might be a day or two enough away that it can still get some kind of movement coming in. Like I posted, I'm not a big fan of trading stocks that already have earnings coming up because they can get stuck in these ranges before the actual release of the date of the earnings. So, there can be enough plays elsewhere, but HIMX seems to be moving pretty well, and it can put in some good ranges during the day. So it's just a matter of monitoring things, setting alerts however you want to set them, but going to keep an eye on this for a possible move up to this 960 area, this top up here. But again, earnings are coming up. I do like the fact that volume has been pretty steady. The buying has been coming in pretty good. The buying volume has been coming in. Now, when this bar is green, that just means it was higher on the day, which is always cool. But you have this little surge right here on this breakout level. But we'll see if there's any kind of follow through. But note that earnings are coming up on this. So going to watch that. MTG. These are not headliners, but this has it posted. Let's see, it had an earnings beat, and revenue was in line. They had a profit target of $13 announced, and only thing I'm going to do here is potentially watch for a pullback here, because if you noticed, I didn't mark all of them. Around these tops, you have a good bit of selling. Of course, that happens around a top, but what I'm interested in is a pullback on this one. This was a very strong day. The market had a very slow day on Friday. Price was driven down, but the bulls pushed it right back up. All right, so if it comes back down to this 1175 area, this might be one to take note of. And this is another one. It puts in a pretty good range during the day. It's not going to be in headlines, but it makes some pretty good moves. So if this this probably $12 is broken to the upside, might get a move back up to the previous high, and that's 25 cents. I'll take 25 cents, but if again, that volume that is showing up at the tops here is showing up again. So with earnings season coming up, and this is already posted earnings, and they were okay. They were good enough, and they had a $13 price target increase, and it has currently made a new high for the year. So maybe look for this to continue on a good day that the S&P is. But again, if the S&P is strong, but again, maybe it's teetering on this $12 level, so it might be quick. I'd rather see a pullback and get in on the swing back up. Look at 30 minutes is too long. But yeah, we'll see right here. It's in an interesting area. It's kind of congested right here. I'd like to see it come back down and then move back up. But, you know, that's not up to us. That's up to the chart. But again, I like the way it is setting up here with this volume at the top again for a possible move back down and then back up. So that's on the list. TGTX. All right, this one is the volume could be a little bit better here. It's kind of low, but it is at this 1230 area, and it has had some consistent volume coming in on this move up. It's in the healthcare sector, but again, where'd you go? All right, all I'm looking for, you know, is this break of this area right here. It kind of ranges during the day, as you can see, but it's hanging out around this 1225 area. It's the daily chart that caught my eye. But if this fails, this could end up being a good short also. So it's just, this is strictly chart patterns. This is kind of an ugly head and shoulders, you know, double shoulder, head, double shoulders, whatever you want to call it. So this could be a possible swing back down either way. It's just a matter of how you want to play things. But volume has, you know, after this earnings report, volume, it's kind of gotten, you know, volume has picked up in the past few months substantially above its average. So, and it's making this move up. So if this gets tanked or if this gets knocked back down, this might be a move for a good short. The dailies, RSI is a little bit up there. So on the way down, that's a full dollar. Possible back to this 50 SMA here, but we're going to watch this one also. Again, these are not headliners, and you know, this, if something happens pre-market, of course, in another stock, of course, that's going to be on the list also. DCTH, this is one. This is kind of tough to look at, but it is liking this 12, 13, you know, cent area, and it's making its way down there again. I would rather like to see this, can't get any smaller than that, get down below maybe 1350. Because that seems to be where it likes to make a move from. So this might, I would just, you know, if you want to set a price alert for under 1350 to see if it gets down here and gets some volume coming in again, that might be one. This might be one just to keep on the back burner as far as keeping an eye on for just a possible, you know, 5-6 cent move back up, because it likes this area, especially under 13 it looks like. And you can set a volume alert for this also, because sometimes stocks go to sleep. I think, I don't know if I ever talked about, getting a little bit off subject here, but setting a volume alert instead of a price alert. Let me see, this is TER, see if we can find it here. So this came up, this is a different subject, but setting a volume alert, I looked at this earlier. You see these spikes where price runs up from, and it's not only price that gets, you know, it's the buyers and sellers that move the stock. All right, so, and you can sometimes identify these areas. You know, I've done this before, I've talked about it a little bit before, where when volume hits a certain level, things start to take off, and regardless of where the price is, okay. So I think I have this marked at like 60,000 shares or so, looking for these volume spikes, about how much volume did the initial move need to get moving. This might be, you know, nonsense to some people, but if a stock has run in the past, and regardless of what the price action is, it might be asleep, but all of a sudden there's a volume spike. Okay, and this could have happened to a stock a week ago, a month ago. If you can find this level, where price looks like it made a move from, it might be something that's waking up. All right, so on tear, and it's a good way to just, set an alert and just forget about it, because if you set an alert for price to come down below a support level, a lot of times nothing's going to happen unless you're looking for a short or whatever. But if you're looking for a buy, that stock can be below that support level for a very long time, and all of a sudden there's this influx of buying that comes in. You've kind of forgotten about it. But if all of a sudden you have a 30, 40, 50, 100,000 share spike in 1 minute, regardless of where price is, that could be the beginning of that move. You don't want to get in right there, but you want to try to, that might be, it's a heads up, something might be going on. But anyway, this is tear. And what you can do, you can set an alert in Thinkorswim of when volume is spiking also. Okay, so and here it's looks like it's about 60,000. Here, move up. Here, move up. Up in here, this area starts to move up. Here, this might be splitting hairs, but I've done this in the past and it's worked out. So if you want to create an alert for volume, I might have already have it in here already. Okay, we have to create one. So we're going to edit, and you're going to have to do this custom. So you're going to click on your ThinkScript editor. This one's not too painful. Let me give you some more room here. And this is all you're going to set this to 1 minute. All right, because this is a new mover. This is just an example. You're going to define, we're going to make a variable vol equals, and you've determined that level of volume to be maybe 60,000 shares. All right, so then you're going to define a condition 1 equals your volume, your current volume, actual volume, is greater than the variable that you defined, and then you're just going to plot result equal condition 1. Okay, so this is basically saying that if the volume of your 1 minute bar is greater than 60,000 to send you an alert. Okay, you have to have your alert set up in your notification, in your setup tab, and I think over here in the video 1 that I've posted over here at the Penny Stock Quest and the Thinkorswim videos, if you look at video 1, I think I have that that setting in there about how to set up your alert notifications for sending text messages to your cell phone and all this stuff. And I've got my cell phone number in there, so I'm not going to show that to you. But this is all you type in. Okay, type this in, make sure it's on the 1 minute, and you're going to click OK. And you want to make sure that you have your study is true. Okay, because this is defaulted to a price that I just showed you. Okay, now you're going to create that, and it's going to show up in your markets tab. But if you do them, I'll show you this again. Create alert. No. Go back. Sorry. If you go to your study, here it is. Do that again. You're going to edit that. Now, if you see these little spikes right here, these spikes are showing you where volume for that bar or bars was above 60,000. Okay, there's a lot. This is where the big buying came in. Things went to sleep here. This is below 60,000. Spikes again, moves up. If you want to possibly make this 70,000, it's going to change. Now it's going to show you where the spikes were above 70,000. If you want to make this 100,000, it's going to show you where those 100,000 share spikes came in. All right, but if you set it too high, for instance, right here, and this happened to be spiking right here instead, you're going to miss it. But even so, at 100,000 shares, this might even be a little bit better to show you where some of that new buying had come in. All right, now if this was 100, if you were going to buy this again at 100, you should have been in here. This is where you start splitting hairs, or let's maybe show it at 50,000. Okay, you want to buy and hold these things for a little while longer. But again, 100,000 share volume alert when it went off here, and this was just a sell. Okay, this is where it was tanking. But at the end, you could have cleaned up with 15 cents on that. Well, maybe 10 cents on that. But you change this value, it's going to show you where these spikes were. And I'm not going to set this alert. I'll watch Terror tomorrow to see what happens. But these simple 3 lines of code, you click OK. But again, make sure the study is true, because this is going on based on what you just typed in there. Okay, and you would create that and it's set. So that's one thing I do for stocks that have moved in the past that just might wake up. You kind of don't want to watch them because you want volume to come in, or at least I do. Okay, back to the list. I'm going to keep HTZ on here because of the way it has been moving. It's putting in a good range during the day. Fell back some. I gave had a little pop. I went over that on a trade review, but this stock is just, it's moving well during the day. It's still way up there, still might pull back, so that's on the list. One possible short that, where were we? Just show it up is this LPI. It's having trouble at this $12.50, $13 area. And this is another one that has a pretty good range during the day. So it kind of gave some back already. Let me go to 5-minute chart. So, and it's kind of stuck in this range. So if we have another move up and it fails, it might put in another move to the downside. So I'll be keeping up with this. But on the other hand, a break, it could move back up there. So it's a matter of how you approach things. There's a lot of resistance here. So volume has come in and it's got earnings coming up again, but it it might have a few days before it can make a move to do that. So that's what's going on. Again, if there's something moving pre-market that's not on this list, of course, we're going to take note of it. So that's what we've got going on. So, end your week in green for the week. It's always cool. So trade smart. We'll catch you later. And as usual, if you want to discuss any of the videos, if you want to come in here, I've got a discussion tab where you can keep a thread going for any questions or whatever for anything. So that's it. You guys trade smart.